Fishing amongst the Sea of Thieves can feel like both a dangerous and long-winded grind, but what if I told you that it doesn't have to be either? I'll be showing you 5 of the best places to cast your rod and get the most out of your angling experience, as I hunt for the legendary trophy shadow stormfish. And no, I don't mean checking out 90-degree angles on a triangle, it's just another name for fishing. So starting off with a quick bonus one, recently the Sovereigns has begun to accept your fish, meaning that you can literally never leave the outpost after you wake up from the tavern, buying a storage crate and a bait box before throwing in your bait and catching as much as you'd like. However, they don't give you as much gold for this here, and with them not understanding anything about fish, you don't get much reputation from them either. This is why, as I started my fishing adventure, I decided to join in with the experts, trying my luck at a nearby sea post, meaning easy sells as soon as your fish finishes cooking. Even better if you can get caught up in a storm here. Also, other pirates tend not to bother you too much if you're parked up here, leaving you to fish, cook and sell to your heart's content. However, this is at number 5, as things got a little dull, and although I was prepared to fish here for the entire time, I felt other options must be tested. Amongst the many other places that I tried fishing, this next one may come as no surprise to you. However, somewhere out there, deep beyond the Red Sea, lies the shores of gold, meaning that if you are able to reach this, providing the Shroud Breaker is fully completed and on board your ship, then you can have the most peaceful time here. With your bait box and storage crate, you'll be set for days, miles from any pirate and free from harm. Mostly, as skeletons do tend to spawn here, so my best advice would just be to stay on board your ship and don't let them have line of sight, as shooting you just before you make a catch can be pretty frustrating. But once again, out here it can get pretty lonely, and no storms will come your way, so you can say goodbye to any stormfish you wanted. So for this next one, although it sounds impractical, I swear to you that it works much better than you'd expect. Hey, Shantymen, can we have something a little more dramatic for this one? Yeah, that's more like it. You know, I just can't help myself, but fishing at a Fort of Fortune is not only a fun journey, but really confuses anybody actually trying to take on the event. Not only do people see you as trustworthy most of the time, but they don't see you as a threat. From my experience, this would have been much easier as a duo, allowing one to fish as the other sailed around, so pirates with kegs don't ruin your catch. However, keeping an eye on the forts whilst gaining more sea friends will allow you to know when to strike, and sometimes you can't get better timing than this. As there were already 2 sloops at the fort, me and another pair who I had an alliance with, another began heading towards us, so we decided to try and recruit them. Luckily, they heard us out, and as the other 2 pirates went over to the ship for diplomacy, knowing that they were facing the Ashen Lord, I hopped on board their vessel, picking up a trident and quickly finishing off the fort. Sooner than they could react, I was in and out with the Chest of Fortune. However, nearing the Redbeard, I could hear the cannon fire, so plans quickly changed. Now, I know I was here to catch fish, but the only one that I truly cared about was the elusive trophy shadow stormfish. Everything else was just seeing what I could get. But if you want to secure all of your catches, maybe bring a crewmate with you to ensure you don't lose them like I did. But as my ship was sinking and everybody carried on fighting around me, I took the opportunity to swim away, fighting off only sharks and eventually reaching land at the crooked masts, burying it there until I could return soon after and sell my hard-earned loot. Yes, I know, back to the fishing, sorry. Maybe calm the music down now, guys, thanks. As I'm sure you're aware, I would absolutely put Fort of Fortune as number 1. However, I feel it best to sit here at 3 due to the lingering dangers that surround this new event. But pushing for the second spot on the list is fortresses. These are incredible, as after just 10 minutes of shooting through the phantoms, you will have the entire place to yourself, creating a nicely fortified fishing spot for you. But the greatest part about all of this is the 4 frying pans inside to help cook all of your fish together. That's right, instead of the usual 1 on your ship, you will have an added 4 more to use, so you will have even less time cooking everything and more time catching. However, what can be better than this? Now, before you hear what I say and leave in an outrage, listen to my reasoning and I'm sure you will agree and all be doing this before long, if you're not already. But the best place I found to fish out on the Sea of Thieves was in fact, your own ship. Yes, despite the obvious reasons such as mobility, allowing you to fish wherever you'd like, you can actually chase down the storms instead of waiting for them to come to you in your search of the great fishes of the sea. Not only this, but at any sign of danger, you can sail off and avert it as easily as you can, keeping safe everything on board, and if you really want, you can sail right out of the way where hopefully nobody will find you. But as I mentioned at the start, this would make it both easy to fish as well as entertaining, and this is how. Firstly, of course, it's much easier to find the fish that you're after, travelling straight to where you need to, using the correct bait whilst being able to keep an eye out on the seas. But whilst finding some great fish, I was not able to seek out the fabled trophy shadow stormfish. However, what I was able to find was some entertainment in the shape of another sloop taking on a skeleton fleet, and seeing them being bombarded by cannons, I had to sail in there and put a stop to this. Before long, I had them in a death spiral, whilst also fighting off oncoming skeleton ships, and soon enough, this sloop had sunk, leaving me to quickly finish off the fleet and receiving more treasure, and giving me time to cook off my fish before selling them at a nearby seapost. Would you agree with my list? And if not, where's your favourite fishing spots? And if you want to hear more tales like this, please don't forget to subscribe, and whilst you're here, why not listen to the carnage created by one single chest? Arrgh!